The UDU, Upland Development United, installed their neighborhood nodes throughout the entirety of Upland. Their reach was unmatched.
Alrighty, here we are for number 2 of the Who is UDU series, and we're happy to introduce today Mr. Knubx. How are we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well for this time of the evening. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what do you do, your interests outside of all things Upland?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my real life name is Robert. I'm 20 years old, 28 years old, and I'm living in the Netherlands, so I'm Dutch. Yeah, due to a housing problem, I live in the northern part of the Netherlands right now, but originally I'm from the Rotterdam area, which is very crowded. So this is a nice change. It's really laid back living here. Yeah, I got a bachelor's degree in history and a master's degree in international relations. I am, for a living, however, making money with being a warehouse manager for a startup. We deliver groceries at home, so that's quite interesting.
You would be pretty busy with all this COVID stuff going on, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy. The demand has gone up by, I think, 4 or 5 times. So yeah, that's hard to cope with. And my general interests outside of Upland are cooking, working in the garden, and playing guitar. However, the last one I spend way too less time with that. I mean, I'm sure everything's out of tune, so
Yes.
I have to. That sucks.
I went out to do some gardening today, and it's with all this stuff that's been going on with UDU and everything else. Everything's got a bit neglected, so I spent a couple of hours out there today, and it was just a mess. I was filling up bags and bags and bags full of stuff. So I don't think I've even scratched the surface yet. So I might have to put a few more hours in tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, after this, I'm going outside to do some gardening again because it's a mess. So
nice. And am I right in thinking that you are a moderator in, is it 3 servers?
I think 2. I hope 2, or at least 1.
Yeah, are you a moderator in the Upland fan server as well? Yeah, so that's 1. No. Oh, okay. I thought you were, but you're a moderator in the main Upland channel. You're a moderator in the UDU channel, and you're also you signed up to be one of the helpers in the UDU Academy, I believe. So
yes, that's very interesting indeed. Yeah,
busy man.
It's a cool project. Yeah. You got to keep yourself busy, right? I mean, when you like something and you want to put time in it, you have to just do it. I mean, the way I look at Upland is either you have to spend real money or you have to spend real time. And since I am not ready to do the first, I just spend real time in the game and I try to help people out and just grow myself as well, but just putting a lot of time in it.
Yep. And how long have you been playing?
The 3rd of February I started playing, so a little more than 3 months.
Yep. And how did you find out about Upland?
The Brave advertisement thingy they were running for like way too long. Yeah. I mean, I think we all got the ads when everything sold out, and we were like, that's not the great time for a newcomer to come in right now.
That's just what's happening all the time at the moment, isn't it? It's crazy. I was just reading somebody had just came in and got to Staten Island, and they said, "Where's all the non-FSA properties at?" And well, we're like, "Don't know what to tell you, mate." And like, okay, so where can I go to get non-FSAs? And I'm like, I don't think there's any. I think the only ones that are showing up are the recycled visitor ones, and most of those are FSA anyway. So yeah, it's crazy times.
Yeah.
So we were just
It
talking
sure
before we got started. We were talking that we've only been talking together because you started in February, as you said. Yeah, we only got started talking not long after that, but it feels like because we're a lot of the things that we do are interrelated, and pretty much everywhere I go, you're there. It feels like we've known each other for a lot longer, but it's actually only been a few months.
Yeah, it's crazy when we think about it, right? I mean, I cannot even imagine not knowing you inside the game. I mean, you just gave me such a head start when we first connected. So yeah, basically since I started playing Upland seriously, I know you. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Do you remember? I had a look through our DMs before. Do you remember how we got kicked off together?
I think it was because of the FSA building challenge.
Yeah. I don't know which one it was. I had a look through. It was I was looking for sponsees to help. Was it? It might have been one of the llama challenges or something, Llamageddon or something like that in Fresno, I believe. Was it?
No. I think it was a later one. It was the FSA building party in which the Grobbler won the second round, I believe. There were 2 rounds, and the only prize for pros and up was Spark, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And
so yeah, that was a challenge.
Yeah, we were coordinating on. I think I might have been building the buildings, and you were building whatever the boosters were next to them, and we were shuffling properties around or something. I had a look through.
No, it was just the other way around.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well, there you go.
Couldn't build anything other than buildings that boosted. So you built like a robot or something, I don't know, or a planet.
Yeah.
I had to build the apartment building and stuff. And yeah, you gave me a lot of help with that challenge. Otherwise, I would never have finished the top 10.
That's right. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just kind of a sponsor arrangement. And then from that, we got to talking, and we ran through a bunch of collection swaps together. And one of the things that I saw that stood out in my DMs was that I'd said that I thanked you for the collection swaps, because I think we ran through like 15 or something all in one hit, and I was just like that there was no dramas whatsoever and you'd run it flawless. I had been doing a lot before that, and you know, someone would disappear to go feed their cat, or they'd fall asleep on the couch, or you know, there was always some kind of drama, or they sent the wrong property. But yeah, for you it was just absolutely flawless.
Good to hear. Yeah.
And then we got kicked away with the MTU sort of stuff. But before we get into that, do you remember what the first property was that you bought?
Yes, it was 2169 West via Le Fontaine or something. I still have it.
Oh, that's cool.
Because of memories. in Fresno, yeah. I started out in Fresno, of course. Everyone started out in Fresno in February, so yeah.
Yep. It was completely different world back then, wasn't it? You could just cruise around and buy a property here or there, or take your time.
Easy. It was easy. It was really easy. I mean, I could just flip properties left, right, and center at the time, and making small profits, of course. I mean, right now everyone is making big profits when you flip, but back then you flip like 10, 20, 30 props a day with maybe making 50 UPX per flip, but you got going and you got really into the game if you wanted. And right now it's much slower.
Absolutely. And are you 100% free to play, or did you put any money in at all?
I'm 100% free to play. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And what's your status and net worth about now, if you don't mind saying?
I've just hit triple director. So
Wow,
3
that's
mil.
cool. Nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
From zero,
It feels good as well.
Are you in the fiat out system as well?
Nope, not yet. The requirements for this one I just didn't match with requirements, but maybe someday I will. But I'm not planning on fiat out everything I've got. I just want to keep growing. So.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, even if you sell one property, you're going to be in profit. So that's pretty amazing. That's that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, might be a Christmas bonus
crazy.
or something.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, for sure, we have Green Turtle who's flipping properties for money left, right, and center, and he only put $5 in, I believe. So yeah, it's totally doable to make money off Upland. And that's also very neat, of course. It's not my end goal, but it's cool that's there.
Yeah, I'm the same. I only just recently applied and got accepted. I think it'd just be nice to have that there as an option. Yeah. And now, do you come from a crypto or a gaming background?
Well, I'm more a gamer myself, so let's just say gaming, but I'm not like heavily gaming like shooter style thingies, but I was actually a really good FIFA player, so the football game, well, the European football game. And with that game you could make some money as a streamer, but not as a pro player, and I was neither interested in both of them. I was decent. I could be the pro player, but I'm not like a professional gamer whatsoever. And for crypto, yeah, I've only really invested crypto since buying a house, which is 6 months ago. So I'm not really that much into crypto yet, but yeah, I've always watched the market, and I always thought it was really interesting to see what's going on there. So yeah.
Nice. And
how's that for you?
Well, for me, yeah, I got in through crypto. I used to be a hobby game programmer when I was living in Japan. I had a lot of free time, and I sort of taught myself some basic programming skills and that sort of thing. And I did a lot of game jams and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I got in through crypto basically. I was actually doing my master's degree, and I was going through my phone and trying to delete all of the distractions. And one of them was the Bad Crypto podcast, which they've gone on to do collaborations with Upland as well. And there was, I forget what the title of it was, but there was something in the title of that one that kind of piqued my interest. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just listen to this one before I unsubscribe or whatever. And then I listened to that and I thought, well, that sounds interesting. And next minute, I'd lost the whole day's worth of study. So I did manage to graduate. So, I got there in the end, but just funny that when I was really trying to get rid of all of the distractions, I found something that, look what it's become.
Yeah, you put a lot of time in it, and as well as money, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah, so you just never know. Speaking of games, is Upland just a game? What's your thoughts on that?
No. Of course, it's a gamification in some kind of ways, but I look at it as an investment. Just like I said before, either you have to invest real time or real money, otherwise you get nowhere in this game. So yeah, I say game again, but which is quite contradictory. But I see it both as an investment and a game. It depends on where the devs want to go, basically, how they're going to put out the roadmap, what they're going to implement in the next few months. If it's going more into a game or more into an investment. Because right now it's more of an investment, I think. I mean, right now in the game itself, it's not that much you can do. You can treasure hunt, but that's about it. So yeah, it's both. Long answer short.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because like you're right in that you can invest a lot of money or you can invest a lot of time, and you know, obviously if you put a bunch of money in, you're going to get a head start, but you can't underestimate the value that the time factor is in being involved in the community and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's very cool. What are some lessons that you've learned along the way that might be beneficial to new players coming in the game?
Yeah, that's actually one of the questions I was finding hard to answer at first, but I think that it should be clear what the roadmap is, because then you can invest better. I mean, I just grew a lot thanks to quick flips. I'm still flipping like in the old days, which I shouldn't do probably. But to know the long-term play is important, because this is not a short game. You have to play the long game, and to play the long game, it's important to have more UP2 sizable chunks of land to build on. And that's something I didn't do at all. I'm stuck with a lot of 30, 40 UP2 props. And I wish I just had some more sizable chunks of land in especially in San Francisco, but also in Manhattan, which are of course great long-term holds.
Yeah, I've done similar. I've flip-flopped my focus. I don't know how many times. I was really focused on only having 68 really high quality properties for so long, but then, you know, I exploded and I got up to nearly 2,000 properties, and then I sold 800 or something. Yeah. I've only just now, after, I don't even know how long I've been playing, probably 15 months or something like that. I've only just now started to think about up squared and that sort of thing. So yeah, new players that are coming in that think they might be too late. Yeah, you're never too late. That was pretty much my focus early this morning, actually, when Staten Island released. I was more focused on trying to get some good large properties. Were you involved in that release? How'd you go?
Yeah, I was involved in that release. I did pretty okay. I mean, I minted 53 or 54 props.
I think that's more than okay.
Yeah, but it's not like I targeted some area. I was just floating around and I was like, okay, everything turns green. Let's click on that and let's mint it, because as you know, and as probably everyone knows right now, everything that you mint is worth gold. Like everything that you mint is instantly 200%, basically. So yeah, it was a good time to not have targets for once, and just click randomly and think it's going smooth. I don't know how the experience was with you.
I started off really well. Like there was a lot of chat in the server that there was so many people stuck out in the water, and I was just bouncing backwards and forwards in the channel, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be in trouble here. But then I think it was about 5 minutes to go, I headed inland, and I ended up in a perfect spot. I got 3 nice big properties, and then just kept hopping and picking up properties as I went. I basically cleaned out a whole area, but I think I ended up with 32 or something like that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. How did you go with the captures? I was really hampered by every single capture I had to do was the picture one, and sometimes I was pushing the things a dozen times, and then there was one point there where the pictures went really blurry. I mean, I wear glasses and my eyes aren't the best, but I couldn't even see.
No, those are the worst. I only got 2 of the blurry ones in this one. In Oakland, I got more, which is really frustrating, because like I can see if a car is on a blurry picture or not. I'm just like, it could be there, it could be not there.
A bicycle or something that kept getting me. The bicycles.
Yeah, that's even stupid for me. I mean, by bicycles, I'm always implying the scooters and stuff. Scooters is a something else in English. Anyway,
Yeah.
The motorcycles, yeah, that's the word. I always imply that they are also bicycles, so I'm always clicking on the motorcycles and I'm like, approve, and the thing says, no, it's not good.
Do it again, do it again.
Yeah, that's actually, I think I had to do captchas on half of them. So I think 20 to 26, I haven't done any captchas. So that's
pretty good.
Weird. Yeah, but that's weird that you got captchas all the time and I only got captchas in half.
I think it
so that's something.
There was another UDU member who said they were just all doing the tick. They just got all ticks pretty much, and I think that might have been Harry Cross or somebody. Yeah.
I know from Finsky that he has to do 0 to no ticks at all. So that's weird.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe we're bots. Who knows?
I've been called worse. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we all have. I think even I, for playing on such a short term, I've heard people saying things about me like, "Yeah, he's a cheater." Or, yeah, he misuses FSI buyers. Well, I never had an FSI buyer myself, so I'm like, no.
Oh, and as a moderator, you get accused of having insider information and all that sort of stuff, which that just kicked off recently again. I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the worst, because you can't defend yourself in that kind of situation. You're just like, yeah, sure. Maybe I get more in touch with the team, but it's not like they tell us, oh, the next city is going to be Los Angeles, or the next city is going to be London or Hong Kong, or who knows. It's just like we raise issues to them and they reply on those issues to us, and we can reply to the rest of the community. So yeah, that's something I just wanted to say again and again, and probably going to repeat again and again as well.
I can imagine so. Getting back to Upland, where do you feel that you're based in the game? Is there a particular city that you feel is your home base? I mean, you started off in Fresno. Is that still home for you?
No, not anymore. I mean, Fresno is cool, and I will always have warm feelings for Fresno, but who in the world knows Fresno? I might have heard about it some long time ago, but it's not like I'm from California and know where Fresno is exactly. So currently my base is San Francisco. I hold 52 properties right now there. It's my only viable treasure hunt map as well. So yeah, San Fran is the place for now, but when they open up a European city, I can imagine that I will be making my home base there.
Yep. I would imagine you're probably like myself. With myself being from Australia, I didn't really, of course I know like San Francisco and that sort of things, but as far as landmarks or key neighborhoods or streets or something like that, I have no clue whatsoever.
Have you ever heard of the Coit Tower? I mean,
well, Coit in Australia means your bumhole, so it's quite a strange one, that one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when I first saw the Coit Tower, I was like, "Whoa, that sounds interesting." Yeah.
I have to make an offer on that.
Or maybe steer clear of it altogether. Yeah.
Who knows?
So San Francisco, yep. And with property development coming on board soon, is there any key areas that you're looking to fill out for that?
Yeah, well, basically, since I'm involved in almost every node of the UDU in San Fran, I have properties everywhere. I will develop those first. I think I will develop Midtown Terrace properties as first one. We'll make that the prime residence as well. So yeah, that will be the most important area for prop development for me.
Yeah, we're not really sure. Like they've talked previously about you have to nominate an area as your primary residence. Originally I was going to go to Alamo Square. Without knowing how it's all going to play out. I'm not sure if I'm going to commit to that still. Oh, of course, I will still build there in Alamo Square, but I'm thinking of a situation where I've created the Midtown Terrace United, and I've got all these players on board, and I'm like, okay, see ya. I'm going to go and build in Alamo Square. It's not a very
I'm
good.
sure nobody will hold a grudge against you for that.
Yeah, we'll see. But speaking of Midtown Terrace United, we know we've got our residential area that we're building, and we've got our business area. Do you have any business plans, either on paper or in your head, or any ideas?
Yeah, floating ideas, basically. I mean, we still have a lot on the roadmap which has to be implemented. A few things on the roadmap I found really interesting, like I read about a pinata store and that you can do scavenger hunts for people. I like maps, so I would be very much interested in building a scavenger tour for someone, or having a pinata store would also be epic. So that are two things that I'm thinking about, but I have to know more before I can even start working on a real ID.
Very good.
So for now, no.
Yeah. So where do you see the game in a year's time? If we sat down together 1 year later, what are we going to be talking about?
I think we're going to talk about the explosive growth. I mean, if they keep up this pace, this game is going to explode. I'm really positive. A month ago, if you would have asked me, I would have said like, yeah, I don't know if this game is. I think it's going to make through the year, but not like I think this game is going to be an underground game still. But if they keep growing like this, it will just explode. If they open up international cities as well, as they said that they will do in this year, I think we see a massive rise in people who are going to play, and we'll, yeah, I think we all will have great investment opportunities in new cities, and things are looking up. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Do you have a program, or are you aware of the program? It's like a current affairs program called 60 Minutes. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah.
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 Just recently, it might have been last Sunday, actually, I think 60 Minutes in Australia aired a segment that was all about cryptocurrency and at the start, and then the last half of the segment was all about NFTs. Once the word gets out about NFTs and the direction we're going in, yeah, anything's liable to happen. What's the word on the street where you are about NFTs and that side of things?
It's starting to happen. I recently drove home, and my drive home is about 2.5 hours. So I listened to the news, and the news was talking about it, and that was the first time, and that was like 2 weeks ago or something. We also have a Dutch section, of course, on the general Upland Discord. So I think more and more Dutch people are going to get into it in the next few months, as well as when Envenom's interview with CNN, of course, will air. That will draw some attention to Upland as a whole.
Yep.
So yeah, and especially since I think that Upland is unique in making it quite accessible. They give you funds to start with. That we're in a unique situation, we're in a unique position to really grow and really profit of this interest in NFTs. Basically that.
Absolutely, yeah. Even just cryptocurrency is still seen as, it's in the media, it's still pretty much reported as like a Ponzi scheme, or there's always the red-faced old banker in there saying, oh, you're going to lose all your money. It's bloody, it's a Ponzi. And then that they talked about all this NFT stuff, and then they pretty much put the same spin on it. Oh, it's the next Ponzi scheme. Is that still the case there, or is cryptocurrency more accepted, or?
It's quite accepted. It's even airing on national news, like Binance sort of companies that are advertising on national radio stations. So it's getting normal. It's getting normalized. So no, over here it's pretty okay if you invest in crypto.
Nice. Hang on.
Or even crypto, it's a fraud or something. No.
Sorry, you just cut out on me then. For those that don't know, I'm hiding away in my laundry, and the internet's not that great in here. So, moving on to all things UDU. Do you remember how you got involved?
I sure do remember that. I was actually in Manhattan or Brooklyn, I don't know, and I was minting some stuff, and then you posted the first advertisement like, hey, look, MTU, it's going to happen. I'm going to build my business here. And you did that in the general Discord, while there was still there was still like 25% left to be minted. And I was like, oh, damn, I got to be there. So I sent a message to you in the general Discord itself for public items to be seen that I wanted in, basically. And you were like, yeah, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, fine. And then you posted the second advertisement and people started rushing to it. And I was like, oh, damn, I'm not going to be in time to get anything. Yep. So I jumped in the plane. And midway my flight, everything was minted.
That's
and I was like,
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I DM'd you and yeah, you basically worked something out for me, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm now holding 4 props in Midtown Terrace. That's how it started, and well, quickly after that, you met with Venom and DJ Shorts, of course, and the UDU happened, which I was immediately very appealed to. I like the idea. So that's basically how I rolled into it.
Yep, and you, if I'm remembering correctly, you are UDU member number 7. So you were in right at the early stages as well.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
And that would have been the Evil Empire incarnation then too, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yep. I remember those days. The awesome art of D-Lit as well. The mural, the sticker, I don't know what it is. It looked really good, and you still have to do something with it because it's just too awesome.
Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah, that definitely caught a lot of people's eyeballs. Like with the first interview I did with N36C, he said the exact same thing. So, yeah, that definitely helped a lot. So I definitely owe D-Lit one a lot for that one. Why did you get involved?
You just the first part of the question I didn't hear.
Yep. So we know that you got involved in about March. You saw the advertisement, but why did you get involved? What was the motivations?
Well, there were basically 2 motivations. First of all, I knew you. I liked the idea of being in an area with you as a sort of leader and to make sure that we make the most of property development. I was looking at other options like investing a lot into Little Italy, Fresno, or I don't know what the other nodes were. Well, nodes. I knew Panhandle was pretty strong, Merck Manor, Dog Patch, and the buy-ins for those were just, yeah, I mean, I was just not a director back then, I believe. No, I was not a director, so I didn't have much cash. I could not sell anything to get into any of those established big nodes. And I was just like, okay, I have to play a long-term game here. Ben 68 is starting something. I have to be in here. I believe in it, and I just need something for the long-term investment to hold and to grow organically. So that's basically the main reason why I got in. And I also saw how much people you attracted immediately with the ID. And I was like, okay, maybe those people are going to work together on building other areas, on going to another city and establish something there as well. So there were basically two things. I was just looking for a community to settle in for long-term gameplay. And yeah, when you did that, I mean, if anyone else did it, I might have been reluctant to go in. But when I saw you doing it, I was like, yeah, I know this guy, I can trust him.
Yeah.
What else I'm going to do?
Alrighty. Well, I thank you very much for that. The next question that I was going to ask you is how active are you? But we've already covered that. You're everywhere. So
I try to be everywhere.
I think we can skip that one. What do you feel your role is within the UDU at the moment?
Well, basically, I'm still trying to find my real role in there. I try to be a little active in the new members community, in the UDU Academy, to give them some guidance, because there's a lot of questions about who we are, what we're trying to do. Some people, of course, accusing us from pressuring people to give their best properties to us. Or to some members, and I'm like, I would never try that, and I know for sure that everyone in the EDU thinks the same about that. We're just trying to establish something here. So yeah, and on the main UDU chat, you barely see any drama, so it's an easy job as a moderator there. I just try to follow the market, see if there's any under market listings for one of our nodes, and try to alert the members if that's the case or not. Last night, 2 nights ago, I think, I alarmed Nemo Ryan, because Nemo Ryan is, as you know, still trying to create some form of a node. Not trying to go into detail too much, because that would hurt our intentions there. So yeah, just being on the lookout and trying to make us grow stronger, better.
Yeah, I think that's an important point there that you've said, that, you know, our intentions are always, you know, to help new players. But people need to understand that often myself, or like you said, Nemo Ryan, or yourself, we may be juggling 6, 7, you know, depending on the timing, we might be juggling multiple players, and it's very easy to get things mixed up. One of the benefits of using blockchain, and especially with all the bot feeds and that we have access to, there's not much that can go wrong that can't be solved if we can all keep our cool heads. So, you know, if anybody feels like they've been shorted on a deal or something didn't work out right, it can be all solved pretty easily. I mean, with a bit of conversation and a bit of patience and time, I think.
Of course. I mean, that's very clear. That's the good thing about blockchain. Everything is visible for everyone.
Yep. So what do you think we do really well at the UDU?
Well, I really have a good feeling about, we grow well. We grow really fast, but at the same time, organically. I feel like we passed the initial hiccups that we let too many, I don't want to call them outsiders, other players. Let's say other players, because outsiders sounds evil, like they're never going to be part of our group, which they totally can.
Yep.
But yeah, that other players got into too easily, trying to make a quick flip of our budget, and yeah, that's something we cannot let happen. I mean, that just costs us too much money to establish something in a neighborhood, and people might think of us like a group of whales or whatever, but look at me. I mean, I'm not a whale at all. There's a lot of people like me in the EDU who are not whales at all, who haven't spent a penny and are just here to make sure that we establish good nodes and while trying to not spend too much. So yeah, I think we really did it well. We have memberships open for everyone, and especially now with the EDU Academy, there's a way to grow into full membership. And in the EDU Academy, we are pretty transparent. I mean, look at our last targets in Oakland. I'm not sure if we can fully speak about it since there's still some FSA to pick up. So I won't go into detail. But we basically said to them in the UDU Academy, look, here's where we're going to establish. You can fully go for it. We don't necessarily want to buy it from you. I mean, eventually you want to be full members, so you want to keep it for yourself. Yeah, I mean, in the UDU Academy, of course, we have seen some drama lately, but that's only one player, and the rest of them are really eager to learn, and they can understand our long-term goals. So that's also important, of course.
Yeah, I think it was kind of insinuated a couple of times that we'd set up the academy to recruit and exploit FSA players, which is not the case at all. I know when we started talking about those nodes that we were targeting in Oakland, we said, look, as you said, this is what we're doing. You're under absolutely no obligation whatsoever to go for it. And I think, if I remember correctly, we were encouraging them to buy other properties so that they could flip and that sort of thing. But yeah, and that's still all evolving. That's all coming online, and we're still trying to work out how that's going to play out. But yeah, I think the members that we have there now, they've definitely got the right sort of mindset, and pretty much between, you know, myself, yourself, and all of the other more veteran players, there's always somebody in there to answer any of the questions that come up, I think. So we shall see how it works.
Yeah, and what I also want to add is that most of the UDU Academy is not even FSA eligible anymore. I mean, most of them are pros, or well, I believe we have one director in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, AN1, I think, I'm not sure if he's a director or not. He might be now. I think he just bought in for the Staten Island or something. But yeah, he was a player who came into the UDU, and he kind of felt that he would benefit a bit more from some one-on-one approach. So he's kind of moved over to he's still a UDU member, a full UDU member, but he's also moved over to the academy, and he plays a really critical role, actually. And I'm going to speak to him next week, I believe, where he's not quite a new player, and you know, he's been through some of these things really recently, so his input will be really valuable.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, I cannot even imagine how it is to try and flip now with the 2 FSA restriction, which is, I can understand it from the game perspective, but it's a little too restrictive for the new players.
Yeah, as Crypto Jedi was talking about, maybe himself and myself might have some blame there for that coming on board. But never mind. Yeah. So within the UDU, is there anything else that you think that we could do?
Well, right now, not. I also, said in my last answer that at first I felt like that there was no restriction to be a member. Just everyone in, and that led to some chaos and some things that we have under control now. So no, basically right now, I'm just looking forward to everything we're doing, and well, especially to, of course, property development, which should be implemented pretty shortly. But yeah, we never know. So yeah, if that's there, then we can finally start planning where to build, where to grow, and yeah, hopefully make some collections or whatever we gonna get for developing. It's still not set in stone, of course. So
yeah, we don't really know, do we? We got to see how that's all going to play out.
that's
Yep.
going to
And
be interesting.
one thing I forgot to ask you at the start was, as a director, you have your own block explorer. What did you pick, and why did you choose that?
Yes, that's a good one. I've got a Scottish Highland cow as a custom block explorer. The reason for that is that I lived for a year in Scotland and I loved my time there. And I just wanted something to do with Scotland, just for a quick laugh and for good memories. And I had to chance basically, well, I had to choose between a unicorn, which is the national animal of Scotland.
Oh,
Don't
really?
ask me why. They're crazy. Well, basically, I could go for a Black Angus cow, of course, but that's not as distinctive as a Highland cow. So I went for a Highland cow. I like the bulls, the horns as well. It just looks like a bull. Well, actually, it's a cow. So that's fun as well. So that's basically why I get mine. But I'm also curious how you got yours. Of course, I know a little bit about it, but I mean.
Oh, I've got a question before we do that. That's I always assumed it was something to do with markets or finance. So that's kind of interesting to hear that there's a whole Scottish twist to it. And you've taught me something about Scotland. I'm half Scottish by ancestry, so there you go. You've taught me something. Yeah. Yeah. I've got horrible Scottish skin that doesn't really like the Australian sunshine. So anyway.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good question about my block explorer. I haven't really been asked that before. Yeah, I picked the samurai helmet because I have very deep ties to Japan. My wife is Japanese. I lived there for 6 years. I ran a business there. Some of the best times of my life were spent there in Japan, and you know, I'm a fan of the culture, fan of the history. Some of my friends go really off the deep end with their Japanophile stuff. I don't get into things that deeply, but yeah, I just had a ball there, loved the history and that sort of thing. Why I picked the helmet specifically, I ran an English teaching business over there. I had my own school in Japan, and I used to run the school in the daytime, and in the evenings I would go and do private lessons. One of the houses that I went to do private lessons with, those people were extremely wealthy, and it was kind of something out of a movie to go to their house every night. Like beautiful big, it almost looks like a castle wall at the front, and then you press the ding dong, and then a tiny little wooden door will open up, and you duck your head down then, and you go through the wall, and then it's just immaculate garden with the house kind of, probably, I don't know, 10 meters or something back. And then at a certain time of the year, there's a thing they do. It's called the Boys Festival, basically, and we do it here at home, but not on this scale. When they'd open up the front door, there was a full samurai suit as soon as you open up in the door. Like, it was the way it was lit. It was a red samurai suit, and I'm pretty sure that was the real deal. So it'd be hundreds and hundreds of years old. Would be worth a fortune, I would imagine, and that was just something that always stuck in my head, that it just looked really cool.
Yeah, it does, and I mean, it's one of the unique block explorers. I mean, it's one of my faves, at least. My absolute fave is that one of Ryan 600 with the unicorn piata.
Yeah.
I really love that one. So that was actually the reason why I didn't go for the unicorn. To not be like, okay, that one's perfect, I don't want to touch that one.
Yep.
So yeah, no, yeah, cool story.
Yeah, I think my favorite is, and I tried to buy it because I bought this player's account out, was Psychotic War. His was the skeleton with the laptop sitting on the toilet. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen him hopping around. Yeah.
So he ended up leaving the game for a while, and I bought his entire account out over the counter, and I reached out to the team and said, "Can I get his Block Explorer transferred to my account?" And I forget exactly what they said. I think they said technically it's possible, but it wasn't something like a road that they wanted to go down it just yet. It was like wait for the Block Explorer shops. But I kind of asked the team before I asked him, and then he was like, "No, it's not really for sale because he might want to come back because that's I can imagine that would be easily worth $1 million UpX straight up. That's just so iconic."
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's one of the most brilliant explorers.
I think I might have been on the toilet with my phone in my hand when I first saw it, and I was just cracking up laughing. Yes. Anyway, just wrapping up, we've had a good chat. Is there anything you would like to promote, or how can people get in contact with you if they'd like to have a chat?
Yeah, they can always contact me at Discord. Knubx is my handle there as well. I'm always open for a chat in the end. And other than that, no, I've got nothing for sale. I've got nothing to shill here, so no.
Awesome. Well, it's been great to get to know you better, and we shall see you around.
Yes, sure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.